2 years ago on my birthday, I bought this Luke Skywalker Black Series figure. He's based on the Return of the Jedi appearance, and he appears in his ENDOR attire. This is the only original trilogy Luke figure that I have, and my favorite feature from him is the ability to remove his poncho so that he appears just as his Jedi self, exactly why I bought him. 2 years later, I'm excited to see that a Han Solo and Leia of the same nature have finally released. Now my trio is to be complete. These are the Star Wars Black Series Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary Celebration figures. To celebrate the anniversary of the movies, Hasbro re-releases figures that were recently made available, but in a new old-style packaging. In NZ, these are available now actually in some stores. I struggled to find any information online about these other than pre-orders for apparently March and April. I assume that can't be right though. Otherwise, how else would I have purchased these? The wave consists of Han and Leia as shown here, as well as Boba Fett, Lando, Wicket, and a biker scout. This Lando is pretty funny to me because the past Lando in disguise is still on shelves right now actually, and for half the price. I got mine on a sale. They came out to be 38 NZD, which I am comfortable paying. The packaging here for Leia is the same as Han's. These figures have tape on these corners which holds their plastic shell in place, simple enough to remove. So first up is Leia, who utilizes a pretty stylish poncho. A close look at her head and her likeness, it looks like a good figure, but I don't know if it looks like a good Carrie Fisher likeness. I really love the details in her braids though. Her poncho is that fabric material which contrasts the plastic quite nicely, and it's loose on her too, so it allows for articulation in her arms. General articulation in a Black Series figure is always of high quality, I feel. I stopped buying Star Wars toys when the figures started becoming more stiff, and then I started gearing towards the Black Series figures for their details. Good articulation all throughout, but the first problem that I have comes in trying to make the figure stand. I don't know if she's too top heavy or if the feet are just too small, but this is no simple task. Some finer details that I appreciate are things like her watch, which when I was a kid, they wouldn't have even bothered with a detail like this. The poncho feels great, but disappointing to see that the hood here is stitched into the poncho, meaning that it can't move. I tried to have her wear it, but as a result, the whole thing ended up coming off her. So we might as well look at these details now then. It's really cool that an action figure details the underside of parts that won't be seen otherwise, something that I think we can all appreciate here. She wears what looks like similar clothes to her sequel trilogy outfit and attire, but another issue that I have here is the belt that's in the way. The belt goes through the poncho, so it can appear both outside the poncho on the front, but underneath in the back. I haven't figured out a way to remove the belt, and I can't see anyone online doing it, so I'm just gonna leave it here. This means that unlike Luke, Leia can't be separate from her poncho. I'm an accessories kind of guy, and if a figure has a ton of added extras, I'm a lot more likely to buy that one over others. That said, Leia doesn't include too much, but she does include some essentials. She has a small firearm that I already have on her holster here. I believe that she always comes packaged with a gun similar to this because it is her staple weapon. She also has her ENDOR helmet, which has some amazing paints and details. I love that action figures nowadays can replicate a withering detail like this. The helmet appears quite small compared to her head, but squeezing it on it is just fine. Han Solo is up next, and a great figure overall. I'm not sure how recent that last one was, but I missed it at its release, so I'm making up for it now. I think that the Harrison Ford likeness here is pretty stellar. Some angles are naturally better than others, but I'm satisfied with this look overall. He features some details that I was hoping for, like the classic outfit, but before I get into all that, let's take a look at his ENDOR coat. It's a nice cowboy-like attire and a different material to Leia's poncho. It allows for the same level of articulation, and again the material contrasts the plastic nicely. Best of all, this is fully removable. I now have a default Han Solo figure. The coat on its own perfectly looks like it could fit another character, and it feels like the condition of the piece will be fine if I keep it removed for a while. Han looks great to me. Even his black jacket here feels removable, which is a level of detail that I didn't expect. Baseline articulation, he can move in all the areas that I'm wanting him to, which makes me feel quite happy. His holster is spread across both his legs and his hip, which means that there is some stretching movement in the band here, probably why it's quite a rubbery material. It also looks like there's some extra padding here at the back, where they've made it a bit bigger intentionally so that it can stretch without damaging the holster. More rotation showing that he has some cool knee bends where the leg can actually bend in the upper knee and the lower knee, so his ankle can practically touch his back. Better than Leia, he can stand super easily, whereas she struggles in this department. Accessories though, if you don't count the coat that he's included with, then he only has his classic blaster on offer. The details are great though. I love the clear change of colours like a brown handle, the gunmetal grey base, and a silver muzzle. It fits very easily into his gun wielding hand where his finger can go on the trigger, and it fits in his holster nicely as well. That's my look at the Black Series Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary Han Solo and Leia figures, and now my trio of main heroes is complete. As someone who missed those last releases, I'm glad to have access to these figures, and for regular retail price even.